Here we go again. What's my weakness? Apparently the Viking schedule coming up. Because everyone and their mom, once the schedule got released, were like, the Vikings have such a tough schedule after the bye. I say bring it. And like we've repeated on here ad nauseum, they still have to play the Vikings too. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. So even though the next 4 games are going to be tough for the Vikings, at home, Sunday Night Football against the Dallas Cowboys, America's team, allegedly, and then you're at the Ravens, you're at the Chargers, and they're at home against the greasy, grimy Green Bay Packers. It is going to be tough. I ain't going to lie. It is going to be a tough 4-game stretch, but the Vikings are up for it. Hey, it's still Kirktober against the Cowboys. It's going to be Kirkvember. It's going to be Kirksember. It's going to be Kirkuary. It's going to be Kirkanuary, and then whatever. So I'm fired up. I'm ready for it, man, because, you have to beat good teams in the playoffs because that's all there is. Well, there's good teams, and then whoever wins the NFC East face, right? So this is going to be a good test for the Vikings because we still don't know if the 3-3 Vikings are good or not. I think they are. We think they are because you see at times they can be elite in all phases, especially that defense is starting to get things together. The offense can go toe to toe with anyone except for the Browns game and parts of the Lions game, right? So I'm hopeful. I am hopeful that the bye week and the first 6 games of the season were enough time to be like, okay, we have to get our ish together. This team is going to be as healthy as possible heading into the Dallas game. Dalvin is 2 weeks removed with that ankle now. Michael Pierce hopefully is going to be back for the Cowboys, and you're down Patrick Peterson, but whatever, next man up. So Cameron Dantzler, come on down. You got to be guarding CeeDee Lamb and Amari Cooper. Woo! Also, they might be getting Gallup back this week, so great. Wonderful. But I say bring it. And yes, the next 4 weeks are going to determine how the Vikings are going to fare the rest of the way. Because, hey, coming out of this at 7-3, at minimum 6-4, it's going to really help your playoff chances as opposed to, 5-5, 4-6. It's going to be rough. Even though, like we pointed out in the earlier video, the NFC is an 8-horse race. It seems to be. Who's in the 9 seed for the NFC playoffs? The Bears. Stop Bears. But again, 1 week at a time, as Zimmer's been saying, just as all the players been saying, coach and players speak, etc. But yesterday in his presser, Zimmer talked about the next 4 games or next 3 games. So he knows that the schedule coming up is going to be tough because not only are you on a short week because of the Sunday night fixture, but then you're going to the East Coast, and then you're going to the West Coast, and then you come back home. It's going to be a good time, man. But I'm pretty fired up because the Cowboys are a good team, and frankly, on offense, they're sort of a mirror image of the Vikings. You have a quarterback who's highly paid, and no one actually knows if they're good or not. You see it at spurts. You do see it in spurts. You have an highly paid running back. Sometimes it gets hurt, sometimes not. You have a duo of stud receivers. Vikings, you have a trio. Well, the Cowboys, you have a trio too. I don't believe in Wilson yet, but Gallup is pretty studly. I guess give him the nod in the tight end department, even though I believe in Gronklin, sure. But superficialities aside, it's gonna be a good game. It is gonna be a good ass game, man. So I'm looking forward to that. And the Cowboys, hey, bring it. Everyone and their mom is expecting the Cowboys to come in and just completely skewer and gut the Vikings and leave them dead on the side of the road. But hey, it's okay. The Vikings 2-point underdogs at home. It's moved to 2.5. Maybe it'll be 3 by kickoff. I will take all those points. And then looking ahead, even though that's dangerous, the Ravens can't keep anyone healthy. You know who their running backs are right now? Devontae Freeman, Le'Veon Bell wearing number 17, and Latavius Murray. Again, that's a good running back stable in 2017, but maybe not this year. But Lamar Jackson is great. They do have Rashad Bateman back from his really severe hamstring injury. It was pretty solid last week, but man, they got shellacked at home. They got worked. They got destroyed by the Bengals. And this ain't your dad's Bengals team, man. Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, I think that's going to be a 1-2 combination for many years to come. The defense is still starting to get things together, but they shut down the Ravens pretty damn good in the Ravens building, by the way. So it is going to be tough because Zimmer's defenses, running quarterbacks, mobile quarterbacks, kind of tough. And also the Vikings against good tight ends. Mark Andrews is a top 5 guy, probably top 3 for the Ravens. So that is going to be tough as well. And the Ravens certainly are not as bad as they showed in this Bengals game. But also, I don't think they're as good as when they beat the Chargers' ass a couple weeks ago either. So we'll see what Ravens team the Vikings do get, because I actually do think the Ravens are closer to the Bengals, closer to this team that just barely beat the Lions. Hey, a purple football team who plays down to their competition and barely beat the Lions. Been there, nailed it. But it is going to be tough. But I actually think if the Vikings play to the level that they're capable of, it should be a non-issue, even though they're always a very well-coached team. John Harbaugh, for my money, I put Harbaugh in the top 3 NFL coaches. I don't think he always gets the time of day, but he always has his team ready for situational football, which would be nice. Then you're at the Chargers. Who knows what the hell is going to happen in LA, because initially Chargers and Rams fans showed up to the new stadium, but it's really started to dissipate a little bit, and it has become a lot like the Vegas Raiders, where it's about a 50-50 mix. So even though the team is traveling, in terms of the crowd, and Vikings fans respect. We travel very well. I mean, look down in that Carolina game, and it was about 50-50. With Cristobal purple. I think that's going to be the same out there in LA as it gets a little bit colder here in Minnesota. Of course, going to take off. Of course, going to go to warm weather. So I think that the Vikings could have a very friendly home atmosphere. It'd be like when they played at that stupid soccer stadium a couple years ago. That's when Afadio Denebo had that fumble return for a touchdown. No big deal. Swing your sword, baby. That's right. But if they can control Justin Herbert, which is going to be a tough deal, Mike Williams is really stepping up. Keenan Allen is always going to be tough. Austin Eckler, I think, is one of the more underrated running backs in the game. Of course, Bosa. Man, Chargers are a good team, even though they got their ass whooped a couple weeks ago. Whatever. And then week 11. The greasy, grimy Green Bay Packers, the second division game of the season. And I actually think that the Vikings benefit from having the back end of the season so packed with division games, because first 6 weeks they were still figuring out who they are. I think it's still a work in progress, but if they can get into a groove, head into the back end of the schedule, they can make some hay. And like we pointed out in the NFL playoffs video, the Vikings are 2 games down against the 2.5, whatever. However that math works, but 2.5 games down from the Packers, but they have 2 head-to-heads, and they have 11 games to make up ground, 10 for the Packers. Bring it. I say bring it, because they can't keep getting away with this. Like, I don't understand. Like, the Packers may be the worst 6-1 team in NFL history, because if you watch every single Packers game, it's just by the skin of their teeth. I can't believe it. How the Packers get the other team to play down to their level, and you get the worst effort from every single team. Washington should have won this game. Washington should have gone into Green Bay and won this game 38-24. They should have. Absolutely should have. How do teams keep making unforced errors against Green Bay and just like giving them, like, hell, here we go. It's so frustrating. But it's a lot like looking at the 11-0 Steelers from last year. It's like, okay. Yeah, you go. Okay. If you watch every single one of their games, they were not as good as their record. And then they showed it the rest of the regular season and how they got woodshedded by the Browns in the playoffs. So these next 4 games, again, they're tough on paper, but if you break each one of them down, they're eminently winnable for the Vikings. And like we said, it's a tough schedule for the Vikings, but it's a tough schedule for these 4 teams too, because they have to play the Vikings. And technically, the Vikings have not lost to another team this year. The only team to beat the Vikings is the Vikings. They gave it away now against the Bengals and the Cardinals, and they couldn't get it done against the Browns. This team could easily be 6-0. Well, or also, they could be 5-1 and lost to the Lions. Or no, 4-2, starting out 4-0, beating the 1-seed Bengals, the 1-seed Cardinals. Well, I guess they wouldn't be 1-seeds. Anyways, whatever. Beating the Bengals, beating the Cardinals, beating the Seahawks with Russ, beating the Browns, and then losing to the Lions and Panthers. The Vikings easily could be that. Actually, that's a good question. Would you rather have the Vikings 4-2, but with embarrassing losses to the Lions and Panthers, or 3-3 and then the current status quo? I understand it's great having a game in hand, but momentum-wise, That's really tough. That's really tough. Yeah, but whatever. Dance with the one that brought you. Vikings are 3-3. Are going to end up 7-3 after this, and make believers out of all the haters and the losers. That's right. And then you got the Niners. Apparently that's not as daunting as it used to be. Maybe the Niners will get Kittle back. Who knows? And then you got the Lions. Lions play tough. Respect the Lions, man. They play tough for Dan Campbell. They just don't have the talent. Thursday night against the Steelers, bring it. They got the mini bye, Bears Monday Night Football. Oh, we get to play Justin Fields and that terrible offensive line and fake-ass Brad Childress, Matt Nagy, if he's still employed the last two out of the last 4 games. Okay. I say bring that. And then you got the Rams day after Christmas, Boxing Day. That's going to be a hell of a game, man. That's going to be a good game. But the Rams can get got. I firmly believe that. And Detroit played them tough. And Detroit even led late into the game. I think Detroit was leading in the fourth quarter. So the Rams can certainly be knocked off their perch. And, of course, Sunday Night Football, Week 17 at Lambeau Field. Woo! It's going to be a good game, man. Going to be a good game. It's entertaining, to say the least, right? And I understand that it would be nice to have the Giants and the Jets and the Jaguars and Washington on the schedule. I don't know how that would work out, though, but it's all right. All right, play the hand that you're dealt. This is the hand that the Vikings were dealt, and we're going to run uphill. We're going to crack aces, baby. That's right. Woo! Next 4 weeks, very important. But your thoughts on our thoughts. Next 4 games are everything for the season. Let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support that work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But until next time, Skull Production Value.